Well, world, it is Monday, April 18th, 2022, and looking out the window at Defiance. It's, excuse me, kind of overcast and cloudy this morning, and it was cold. 36 degrees, I think, was about mid-30s anyway, this morning when I went running. And I think it's going to be cool for the next couple of days, but there's some warmer weather coming. Spring is on its way. The devotion for today is entitled Hallelujah is Forever by Vince Amlin. Excuse me, and Vince bases his devotion upon Psalm 30, verse 5, New Revised Standard Version with inclusive language. God's anger is but for a moment. God's favor is for a lifetime. Weeping may linger for the night, but joy comes in the morning. And Vince writes, the other day my wife made her famous apple pie. Only it wasn't. She took the recipe from a different place, thinking it was the usual. When the pie came out, she knew something wasn't right. The apples had overcooked. The crust wasn't flaky. It tasted like nothing. The next week she tried again and discovered her mistake. The two recipes were nearly identical. The difference was just 1/4 cup of flour and 1/12 cup of shortening. But from our first bites of the second pie, we knew, yes, that's the way it's supposed to be. Baking is a delicate balance. So is faith. Easter, like Lent, is supposed to be a season. 50 days stretching to Pentecost. 7 weeks of celebration, resurrection, and joy. It's called Eastertide. Don't feel bad if you didn't know it. No one does. Many of us observe 40 days of solemn introspection at Lent. We give things up. We take things on. We remember we are dust. We bury our hallelujahs. Then for one glorious morning, it's lilies and trumpets and candy-filled plastic eggs. 40 parts Lent to 1 part Easter. That's the wrong recipe. The original calls for 50 times as much, 50 times as many rolled away stones, 50 times as many empty tombs, 50 times as much death-defeating love. Imagine the difference in your life, in your church, in our world. The balance is off. It's time to switch recipes. Welcome to Eastertide. And Vince's prayer. Joyful God, death-defeating love, your anger is for a moment, your favor is for a lifetime. Death has had its day. Joy has come. Hallelujah. Well, this devotion brings up some good points. One is, of course, Easter. Easter is a time, it's just not a day. And we will be in Easter time until Pentecost. And we tend to forget that. Easter doesn't end until Pentecost. Just like there is a Christmas season as well. And I had to kind of chuckle at his talking about baking, because it is kind of true. A lot of cooking you can do without